What's up, guys? Today we're going to go over one of the most common questions that I get, and we're going to go over how do we find motivated sellers, in particular the category of person that we're looking for from the best data source ever. What's up, man? This is Sawan Belcher. This is me taking action on Instagram, and we're in ATL, y'all. So if you guys see me around town, definitely honk. If you see the Escalade or me riding a bike, say what's up, guys. Say what's up. I love being able to say hey to all the subscribers that come out, or even answer you guys questions. Speaking of questions that you guys always ask, this is one of my most common questions. It's like, hey, how are you able to find people to, willing to give over a mortgage? How are you able to find people who are willing to sell houses at 50% discount? How do you find the people that you're buying houses from at such great deals when it seems like the market is so scarce? Well, I'm going to give you a couple lists that we pull from the courthouse. Now, first, why the courthouse? I know there's softwares like Deal Machine, PropStream, there's List Source, there's other data aggregators that put these lists together, they package them up and they sell them to you. Okay, let me tell you why I like the courthouse. First of all, the courthouse is where the data originates from. Okay, between the courthouse and the credit bureaus, that's where data is like stored. That's where data like is originated. So if somebody is selling you a list, okay, they had to collect it from somewhere first. So that was either the courthouse or the or TransUnion or Equifax. Okay, so if you get it from the courthouse, you're getting it first before anyone else ever got it. That's why it's important to get it from the courthouse. Now, if you're getting it first, if you're getting the seller's information first, that means you're getting to people before the competition does. You can see how this is important in like a seller's market. So getting to people first. Okay, and I'm gonna break down each one. Now, in the course, I'm gonna go over it at the end. In the course, I'm gonna go over all of the list but one. I can't give away the last one because it really is my secret list that I only give away to my course students. So if you guys want to be a part of the course and actually get access to that list and have the best performing courthouse list, then definitely click the link below, join the Real Estate Made Easy course, and get access to that. Okay, so first we have probates. Down at the courthouse, there is a process called probate, and essentially when someone passes away in that particular county, there's a process called probate where the heirs take control and ownership of all the things that the descendant left behind. So the house, of course, the bank accounts, any cars, any assets or liabilities that are passed down, it has to go through a process called probate. Now, this process kind of takes a while. It kind of takes a while. So you have to be a little patient with it. But most people who inherit a free house from their parents, but they also, inherit debt, they're more willing to sell the house, right? So they don't have to pay off the debt. Okay, so typically, from what I've seen in my experience, 70 to 90% of that list will sell within the first to 5 years of you building that list. Now, that should tell you when you build lists, you do not just throw it away. Okay, now the next list is evictions. Okay, evictions. Definitely one of the most difficult lists to pull from your courthouse, but it is a hot one. Now, a lot of gurus online, they give you a bunch of free training and they tell you to pull the absentee list. Okay, absentee simply means that the owner does not live at that address. They have a separate mailing address that the county sends them mail to. So that makes them an absentee. Okay, the eviction list lets you know that they are not just absentee, but they're landlords. They have the purpose of buying property to rent it out to collect cash flow and have a potential to get equity. But if they just filed eviction on a tenant that they've had there for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or a couple months, that puts that landlord in a risk zone. Because think about it, if you purchased a property and you did your numbers based off of the renovation, based off the ARV, based off of your bank, giving you 70% loan to value, and then now you have to go back and put even more money into it, technically you're losing money on the turn because of an eviction. So if you can grab that eviction list from the courthouse, call the landlords and pitch why it's best that they go ahead and get their equity out now before they put any more money in, you'll find great opportunities there. Okay. The next one is NODs. NODs. Some people call these pre-foreclosures, but if you go down to the courthouse asking for pre-foreclosures, they're just going to send you over to the auction website. You need to be asking for a notice of defaults. Okay. Notice of defaults typically go out 90 days after someone's late. First 30 days that someone's late on their mortgage, it's just a late notice. 60 days is just a late notice. But after 90 days, it's federal law that banks have to let the local municipalities know that there's someone in their county that is about to be foreclosed on, and it is public information at that point when notice of default is filed at the courthouse. So you can help those people, right? You can help those people by catching up their mortgage payments, okay? Whether that's a cash sale or whether that's subject to real estate investing, or whether that is, them being open to an owner finance situation because they're behind on their taxes, okay? Notice of defaults is also tax defaults, okay? So tax defaults and notice of defaults will be in the same categories, just depending on your county and the way they organize documents. The next list you're going to find at the courthouse that works amazingly is recent arrest records, okay? Let's just say you're out and about one night, having fun with the friends, having a party, great news. Next thing you know, your friend gets into a fight. You jump in there because you're the hero. Police come, you're arrested. Who knew that one of your friends earlier that day killed somebody on accident? Okay, now you're an accessory to a crime. Literally, that's how life happens, right? So when you go through the recent arrest records, when people get locked up, they're typically, not typically, but sometimes they could go away for maybe a month, maybe 2, maybe 3, or a year. But when people get out of the work routine, right? When people get out of the work routine and they're not receiving a check weekly, that can throw off their finances, which could cause financial distress. And of course, we as in real estate investors, once we get in front of them and we say, hey, how can we help? We have an opportunity to get great deals under contract. Now, next, down at the courthouse, you can find code violations. Now, you don't have to go down to the courthouse to pull code violations from my experience. Now, every county works differently, but from my experience, this is one of the lists that the courthouse has. This is information that the courthouse has that you might not have to physically go down to the courthouse for. And that makes it very, very valuable, okay? Because you literally can just go online, do a little homework, dig around on your county website and find all of the people who have active and inactive code violations. That's very, very important. Think about this. People that have active code violations, that means that they're going through a problem right now where they need to fix a house up, but also people who just spent a lot of money that maybe they wasn't expecting to spend, you still need to follow up with them as well. So don't just pull the active code violations, pull the inactive as well. Now, let me tell you one thing that I told one of my coaching students, okay? He had joined the Real Estate Made Easy course, and one thing I provide to you guys is that, I don't mind talking to you, especially when you need help with something. I really want you guys to make money. So I was talking to him. I told him that could really help him, if he wanted to focus on code violations, because I suggest you choose one and you become a specialist at that one list. I told him if you want to become a specialist at code violations is to literally research the code violation laws in your county and figure out what their process is. Okay, I'll give you an example. So in Guilford County, first they send out a notice that just says, hey, this is the problem, here's the code that you're breaking, fix it within 90 days. After 90 days, if it's not fixed, then they send a notice of payment, like a fine if they don't, and every quarter for at least a year they will send that fine. If it's not fixed after a year, you'll start getting monthly fines. After the second year, if you don't fix anything in those 2 years, then they start hitting you for daily charges. And at the end of the 5th year, you go to the pending demolition list, and on the 6th year, the city demolishes your house. You know, so because I know that, and because I'm focusing on code violations list, I can help educate the seller, because essentially what we're doing is we're helping them solve a problem, you know, by providing education. So, hey, this is the problem that you're going through. Here's what typically happens. You know, do you have a plan? Well, if you don't have a plan, here's what's going to come up. So you better take care of it before that, or else. Okay. Now, this last one is honestly true. Is honestly, it's just a true secret. I don't really like telling a lot of people, but my course students, because some things just have to remain a secret. So if you guys want to know the absolute best secret list that you can get from any courthouse, I need you guys to click the link below, the Real Estate Made Easy course. I promise, you will get better results than anybody in your market, because I promise there's only maybe 1%, maybe 0.5% of real estate investors in your market pulling this list. I know the mastermind that I had to pay for to get this list is less, probably 20 times less than the course than the Real Estate Made Easy course. So if you guys want access to that list, I'll see you guys on the weekly coaching calls. Look forward to helping you make money in real estate investing. Peace.